The MotoGP world has always been a stage of unrelenting drama. Amid the roar of engines and speeds that shatter limits, it is often intrigue and psychological pressure that become the ultimate deciders. Just recently, a statement from the living legend, Valentino Rossi, has reignited a heated debate. Rossi, who is none other than the mentor of Pecco Bagnaia, has delivered a sharp insight into the current condition of the world champion. This perspective not only highlights Bagnaia's performance on the track, but also the mounting pressure from within his own team box. Rossi, with his wealth of experience and eyes accustomed to reading the dynamics of racing, has underlined that Bagnaia is beginning to face the difficulties that are inevitable. These difficulties, according to the doctor, are not solely due to the bike's performance or suboptimal setup, but rather the presence of a teammate with speed capabilities as fast as Marquez. Although Rossi does not explicitly name him, the current context directs a sharp spotlight onto Marc Marquez, who has now transformed into Bagnaia's closest rival in the factory Ducati team. Ducati's decision to pair Bagnaia with Marc Marquez is akin to placing two suns in a single orbit. The energy generated is immense, unmatched potential for dominance, but the risk of collision is equally high. It is here that Rossi's statement finds its deepest relevance. Bagnaia has proven himself a world-class rider, winning back-to-back titles and demonstrating brilliant adaptation to the Desmosedici. He has even overcome early season struggles with the new bike, showing the maturity and composure of a champion. Marquez's arrival, known for his uncompromising winner's mentality and phenomenal adaptability, automatically raises the bar for internal competition. If previously, Bagnaia may have felt comfortable as the lead rider with unchallenged authority, now he must share space and, more crucially, technical attention with an alien hungry for victory. The pressure to always be the fastest in every session, to not let Marquez steal a march in bike development, is a far heavier mental burden than competing against rivals from other teams. Rossi's statement that Bagnaia is struggling with a teammate as fast as Marquez warrants deeper unpacking. This is not merely a matter of speed on paper, but the ripple effects created by Marquez within the team. 1. Influence on bike development. Bagnaia has a very smooth and specific riding style, which has formed the basis of Ducati's bike development in recent years. Marquez, on the other hand, is known for forcing the bike to adapt to his aggressive style. When these two feedbacks begin to clash, the technical team faces a dilemma: prioritize Bagnaia's development direction or seek a middle ground that benefits Marquez. If Bagnaia starts feeling uncomfortable with the new Ducati, as implied in the news context, this could be a result of compromises or a shift in development focus that now must accommodate Marquez's feedback. 2. Data comparison and mentality. In a factory team, both riders' telemetry data will be analysed in depth. If Bagnaia must continually see data showing Marquez, with a vastly different style, achieving comparable or better speeds in certain sectors, this can erode Bagnaia's confidence in his own setup and style. Marquez's mentality, as a ruthless predator who never gives up, even on a previously inferior bike, is now bolstered by the best factory machine. This forces Bagnaia to operate at the absolute limit, a situation prone to errors. 3. Media and public pressure. Since Marquez's joining was announced, the media narrative has shifted from focusing on Bagnaia's dominance to the potential for the greatest internal battle in MotoGP history. Every mistake by Bagnaia is now dissected with direct comparison to Marquez. This external pressure seeps into the paddock, adding to the burden on Bagnaia's shoulders. Rossi, as a mentor who knows Bagnaia intimately, surely recognizes how this dual pressure, internal and external, is beginning to weigh on his rider's mentality. Valentino Rossi, though retired, still wields immense influence in MotoGP, particularly through his pupils at the VR46 Academy. His comments on Bagnaia and Marquez are not mere criticism, but a strategic warning. By highlighting Bagnaia's difficulties related to a teammate as fast as Marquez, Rossi indirectly lowers expectations helps Bagnaia shed some pressure by acknowledging that the challenge he faces is extraordinary and caused by the presence of an exceptional rider. Directs attention, reminds the public and Ducati team that Bagnaia is a champion who must be fully supported and that the internal dynamics initiated by Marquez's arrival are the primary factor in the difficulties he faces. Subliminal motivation provides a subtle boost to Bagnaia to embrace this challenge as the greatest test of his career and find ways to outdo the enemy now beside him. Rossi also spotlighted another rider from his academy, Luca Marini, who made the bold decision to move to Honda. This shows that Rossi continues to monitor all his alumni, but his greatest attention is clearly on Bagnaia, now in the fiercest battlefield, facing the shadow of Marc Marquez in the same box. To overcome these difficulties, Bagnaia needs not only to find the perfect bike setup, but also to win the mental battle. He must return to basics, focus on the strengths that made him world champion, and refuse to be swayed by Marquez's speed shadow. If he can separate the internal rivalry from his personal performance, viewing Marquez as a new benchmark to surpass rather than a disrupting threat, then Bagnaia has a chance to rise again. The 2025 MotoGP season, or whichever season this dynamic occurs in, promises a brutal and inevitable showdown. This story is no longer about Ducati versus Yamaha or KTM, but about the defending champion versus the resurgent legend, both sharing the same garage. Rossi's words are merely the intro to a far greater drama. Bagnaia now must prove he is not just a champion, but a rider capable of weathering the storm he has created himself. Amid this deadly rivalry, where his teammate is now Marc Marquez, will Pecco Bagnaia manage to rediscover his comfort atop the Desmercediti and win the psychological as well as technical battle? Or will the presence of the Spanish legend become the turning point that ends his dominance? We invite you, true MotoGP fans, to share your predictions and sharp analysis in the comments. In your view, what is the key for Bagnaia to turn the tables? Or conversely, how quickly will Marquez fully dominate the factory Ducati team? Your voice is our fuel in dissecting every corner and intrigue on the circuit.
Welcome to GP Talks. Don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates.